Immigration has been one of the most difficult political issues for President Biden ever since he took office. Now he's considering another shift, and it's one that risks the anger of his own base. President Biden is considering holding families of unauthorized migrants in detention, according to reports this week. That's a shift from the current policy, where those families are generally allowed to enter the United States and are tracked until later court dates. No decision has been publicly announced by Biden, but the change is clearly a serious possibility. On Tuesday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was asked whether the policy shift was under consideration.
The Department of Homeland Security is certainly continuing to prepare for the eventual lift of Title 42. No decisions have been made, but we've been very clear on how we're looking to how the president wants to move forward, and he's been clear from the start, from the beginning of his administration, by putting forth a comprehensive immigration reform.
If the change were made, it would be significant. During the 2020 presidential campaign, Biden tweeted in relation to migrant detentions that families belong together. The administration stopped holding families in detention, for the most part, in late 2021. And now immigrant advocates are furious about the possible reversal. Sergio Gonzalez, the executive director of the Immigration Hub, told the Associated Press that the detention of families is a shameful, retrograde practice. Progressive lawmakers have joined the chorus of disapproval. Congressman Raul Grijalva, an Arizona Democrat, called the policy of detaining families callous and inhumane. A joint statement from 3 congresswomen, including Congressional Progressive Caucus Chair Pramila Jayapal, called Biden's plan wrong-headed. But there are bigger issues at play. Biden has come under serious political pressure as attempted border crossings have hit record levels. In December, there were more than 250,000 such encounters between migrants and Border Patrol agents. And that's the highest number ever recorded. The political effects are obvious. A Gallup poll in January showed the share of Americans satisfied with the level of immigration into the US stood at just 28%. That was the lowest figure in a decade. A Los Angeles Times YouGov poll, also in January, showed 50% of Americans disapproving of Biden's immigration policies and just 33% approving. The problem seems to have spurred a shift to the center. In January, the president announced a new measure by which 30,000 people each month could come to the US from Cuba, Haiti and Nicaragua, as well as Venezuela, subject to certain conditions and pre-planning. But other people from those nations who sought to simply cross the border would be immediately turned away. That policy has been credited with a sharp drop in migrant encounters in January, from roughly 251,000 to roughly 156,000. Last month, the Biden administration followed up with a proposal that, if it went into effect, would presume migrants who claimed asylum were ineligible if they had transited first through a third country. That change also drew anger from migrant groups. But Biden has an eye to the near future, specifically the ending of Title 42 in May. That measure had been used to swiftly expel new migrants on public health grounds during the COVID pandemic. Its end has been expected to lead to a rush of new attempted border crossings. Biden's hope is that his new policies will soften the impact of the end of Title 42. Yes, they will clearly come at a cost with his own base, but he might think that a worthwhile price to pay if those same shifts buy him some goodwill from voters in the center ground.